I'm a perfect marksman, but this time I brought 4 bullets. Even I, who never checks wind, set up a small wind spinner. Before the target appeared, I fired a test shot. The bullet drifted 50 centimeters. For a sniper, that is fatal. I adjusted the scope, one more shot, dead center. When the president entered my view, I pulled the trigger. The task was done, but I did not leave. I deliberately let the bodyguard spot my position. Then, calmly, I broke down the rifle, packed it into a suitcase. Under the bed, I placed an explosive. As I left, I pulled the fire alarm. I made sure the police were calm. Then, I drove away in a prepared car, all the way into a parking garage. I quickly opened the trunk, took out the suitcase, and loaded it into another car. The whole process left no trace. When the tactical unit reached the building, the explosion erased all evidence. Even the car in the garage was gone. This is how a top killer operates. Of course, taking in a president is never the end. I had already prepared another identity. A chess collector. I bought a chess set as cover. During questioning, I stayed calm. I said I was just visiting an exhibition. The police checked my ID, then asked me to open a glove box. Inside were only valuable ivory chess pieces. Looking again at my thin frame, they could not believe I was a killer. They waved me through. But when I opened my laptop to ask the employer why the money had not arrived, he replied with a single insult. Staring at the screen, I smiled. I plugged in a flash drive, contacted the bank, and asked them to trace the first payment. The bank refused details, but the director handed me a business card. Following the lead, I quickly logged onto a company. Scrolling the site, those photos confirmed one thing. The employer was the president's son. The next day, I used a gun to control his driver, put the man into the trunk. Then I drove myself. Unaware, he stepped into my car. As the convoy neared an intersection, I slammed the gas. A clean drift shook off security, then pulled into a hidden alley. I turned, raised the gun, aimed at the employer. He tried to explain, but I gave no chance.